Welcome back to Romantasy Chaos HQ, the pod. We are Avery and Xavier Harleston, healthcare professionals by day, romantasy theorists, and aspiring authors by night. Today we are covering the epigraph from Fourth Wing, Chapter 22. This is your warning. There will be spoilers for the entire Empyrean series. If you have not read all three books, it may be time to turn back. We are not rated E for everyone. Xavier has a degree in cussing and he's not afraid to use it. We will discuss any and all adult topics covered in these books. We like a challenge, so we tackle each epigraph without prepping, placing it into context for the whole series, not just the chapter or book it's tied to. But you don't have to take it cold, so here is our post-recording one-sentence summary of the chapter. Ree is training Violet on the mat when Second Squad gets an eyeful of Garrick and Xaden sparring. But that rush is nothing compared to the feeling of having her dragons channeling to her and Tyrion and Sigil having sexy time without blocking her. All of which leads to Xaden discovering that Violet is astonishingly good at shielding and kissing. There are 6 minutes on the clock and Fourth Wing lore more distracting than Xaden and Garrick sparring shirtless. So don't blink, don't scroll, don't let Tyrion distract you. We have 360 seconds to blow your mind.
And go.
The first rush of power is unmistakable. The first time it forms to you, surrounds you with a seemingly endless supply of energy, you'll be addicted to the high, to the possibilities of all you can do with it, to the control you hold in the palm of your hand. But here's the thing, that power can quickly turn and control you. Page 64, the Book of Brennan. Whoa. That's
Can turn and control you. Brendan, do you have some secrets to tell?
well, okay. So we have often talked about how there's kind of this the Rebecca Yarros has talked about how it's addiction, turning venom like that first taste of drawing from the earth. It's kind of like an addiction. Like once you have it, you want more, you want more, you want more. But what did Brennan just describe? Is that not like exactly the same way people describe
Heroin?
I mean, all sorts of things,
drugs?
right? Sex, like depending on what you're addicted to, gambling. I mean,
we definitely describe this like it's a high and it feels awesome, but it can end up controlling you if you're chasing that high, which sounds very Venom-esque.
Yeah. The difference is with Venom, it's because you choose to draw, and with dragons, it's because they choose to channel to you. But
you probably never quite get the rush that you get the first time ever again. I mean, if it's a unknown sensation that's like, oh, I am now powerful, you're probably never going to get that ramp up again unless you do something to like chase that ramp up and take more power and push yourself to burnout. So it definitely sets up this dynamic and the allegory that is we definitely see in the books around that drawing from the earth is this addiction, and that once you've done it once, it calls to you to do it again, and you can resist it, you can avoid it, you can try not to want it, but the craving is there, and that craving just stays, and we never see the craving leave Xaden, and the desire to have magic to the point where you're gonna suck the conduit out on the aisle so that you can just use your magic and win, rather than trying to find another way out. Maybe there was no other way out. Maybe it was the right choice, but it was.
They had dragons. There had to have been another way out.
They did have dragons that could breathe fire. Taryn could have torched them all. I'm sure that I'm sure
would just.
I'm sure Taryn could have been the hero. I don't think Xaden was into Taryn being the hero in that scene.
But yeah, and I mean, it really makes me question when it says in later books, when it talks about venomism, there is no cure, there's only control. And that's true of like addiction, right? If you are addicted to anything, there is no cure. You never stop having an addiction. You only are able to, on a day-to-day basis, control the urge to partake in whatever it is that you're addicted to. And maybe sometimes it's easier and sometimes it's harder, but it never goes away. That's for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean,
You have that addiction. That's the definition of addiction. If you don't have that, then you weren't addicted.
Well, and to try to help people stop smoking or stop drinking, and be either, you know, prescribing medications to help them, or working with them in a more talk therapy relationship, planning on how to avoid cues. It's a daily fight for someone who has smoked for long enough to be addicted. And some people, they can smoke for 10 years and just stop. Other people, they smoke for 10 days and they're completely addicted to it. Mm-hmm. So once that addiction sets in, the chasing the high, the trying to get back to where you were, becomes very real. And it puts the venonism in this kind of disease category, because we know that addiction is fueled by brain chemicals and is a maladaptive disease responding to a cue. So if that's the case, if just having this power means that there are some people that are going to chase it, you know, is venonism a disease like addiction is a disease? And should we be viewing the venom in a different light, given all that? And, you know, have they been persecuted much as we have persecuted people who have drug and alcohol addictions for decades to centuries?
Yeah. And it really, really makes me nervous about, and here's the thing with what Brennan just described about feeling that rush and like developing this addiction to the magic that your dragon channels. We would never, ever, we know if your dragon stops channeling magic to you because they die, you die. So there is no cure for the addiction to the magic that your dragon channels. But what does that mean in terms of like
that's
a cure?
That's why your dragon's your first love.
Your dragon's your gateway drug.
Well, that's our time.
And on that happy note, all right, did we blow your mind? Let us know in the comments. And remember, we love you. Stay out of the clouds, off the ice, and come back to us. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Remember, lore lovers, fantasy fanatics, and good girls, like, rate, review, subscribe, and share.